movement in the right direction, however minimal. I mean, that might be one student, you know, looking realistically.
But that's okay.
Right, right.
That's one student who we are moving closer to mainstream society.
Right. And so that concludes the goals.
Okay.
And do you have time to talk about the focus questions for a minute?
I do.
Okay. So what did you think about the visions that was presented at the beginning of the meeting?
The video?
The video.
I think it was right on with what the mission of special education is. And like I said earlier, I really like that you started it not with just academics, but with this social emotional.
Looking at district data, what stood out to you the most, those 5 goals?
For me, I was pretty shocked about the 60-day timeline. I thought, wow, we're only meeting that 92% of the time. That, you know, that's usually, I mean, there are circumstances out of our control, but I thought, wow, you know, that's something that we actually really have a lot of control over. And I'm just surprised that it's not higher. The other one that really surprised me and actually made me very sad is the percentage of English language learners, students in poverty and foster care that are meeting standard for English language arts is only at 11%. That really surprised me. I didn't realize it was so low.
Right.
And so then I choose another one. I knew kind of what the data was on the inclusion. This just reiterated what I already knew, but I just see that there must be this cultural shift within how we can serve students, and we've been working on that. But that just kind of confirmed my feelings on that.
Right.
Yeah. That we're definitely have a big uphill climb.
Yes.
In that area.
But we're
gonna stay the course, and
yes.
we're gonna do it.
Looking at special education growth plan goals, well, we kind of talked about 3 already, so let's move to 4. So are there any goals you feel should be tweaked or added to? Anything that you think?
I don't know about. I don't know.
No, I think
No,
they
I
all
don't.
look pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all ambitious, which is good.
Number 5, how can we as a special education team increase communication within our department?
You mean within district level special ed or all special ed?
Maybe first, just I think we communicate pretty well district level. Do you, or do you think that there's some?
You mean at the office?
communication?
No, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that.
How about branching out to special educators at school sites? Do you think there's anything, do you think we need to improve our communication? I know that you're both really good about going to the school sites and really reaching out and communicating with special education teachers and teams. Can you think of anything we can do as a team to increase communication at the school sites? I think we're doing it pretty well.
Well, I think what's hard is, we are going out to school sites, but the percentage of teachers that we actually get to work with is pretty small.
Okay.
When you look at how many teachers we have, because we kind of get, it's pretty time consuming to spend 2 days in a classroom helping the teacher restructure and, create her plan and her paraprofessional expectations and, or me spending, 2 hours in a classroom helping the teacher to understand how to prepare an assessment and create a plan for the other students with paraprofessionals while she's doing that assessment. Some of these situations require pretty intensive support from us, and so there's a lot of teachers that we don't have any contact with. One thing that we started this last year, and we're definitely increasing this year, is offering office hours, where we're available here at the district office for periods of like 2 hours, and it's all of the teachers are aware, and we're here just sitting here waiting for them Of course, we have other things to do
Right,
while we're
right,
waiting,
right.
but for them to come in and we can walk them through processes, help them with IEP paperwork and student-specific situations.
That's
So
awesome.
trying to offer more support, and we have come in contact with new teachers that we had never met
that
before.
we've never met before.
And we're like, oh, thank you for coming. Sometimes it's our same favorite people that come for the support.
Or even veteran teachers have come in.
Right, yeah.
It's not just new,
This is
it's
true.
veteran teachers who, I'm not quite sure still how to handle this type
Right.
of situation.
Mhm.
The other thing I think about communication that has happened from the district level to teachers are those briefs that
Mhm.
are in the doc locker.
Right.
Because it's a lot of questions that can easily be answered by directing teachers to read it and then
Right.
come back with your questions so that they're specific.
Right,
And that's cutting down on an email,
right.
waiting on an email from someone, waiting
Right.
on a confirmation.
Just having those FAQs,
Yes.
like, right there available.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know that, like, people like people-to-people contact,
Right.
like, and that doesn't feel as maybe personal, but it also, though, helps you get your job done just more efficiently.
It empowers you to have that
Right,
information at your fingertips and not have to seek it out.
right. And I think that's, though, a shift of learning, of helping teachers start to understand you have this knowledge.
Right.
Or these resources readily available.
Right.
You really don't need to wait. Here's the information for you. Here's this power for you to go move
Right.
forward with.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's hard for teachers to understand of like, okay, I can really go and do this.
Right,
That's hard for me.
right,
It's really hard for me, like, am I
Right.
doing this right?
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's easier to be like, make sure that,
Yes.
yeah, just to
Yes.
have that
Yes.
reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
And the last question is, how can we as a special education team increase communication between parents, teachers, and students?
I mean that triage between them or just individually?
So, I guess like having communication so everyone is kind of on the same page. Any ideas about? Just about, I guess it's looking more site by site and making sure that, special education parents and students are part of the school team.
So what I've seen by site is it starts with their principal, who is like, okay, special ed parents and teachers, I'm really gonna address this issue. And it comes from their leadership at their site
Right,
first.
I agree.
And they will bring us in, which is very much appropriate to bring us in,
Right,
but to keep that communication that freely flows between the teacher and the parent, it's very much site-based and it's modeled by their principal.
right.
I really feel like that.
Absolutely, I agree. Mm-hmm.
And so helping principals understand that you are this, you are this leader and you are this model, and it's something that maybe you're not comfortable with and we need to help support you in growing in.
Right.
But it's really, I feel like, starting at that principal
Yeah.
site,
Absolutely.
or assistant principal, admin at that site.
Right,
Mhm.
and I've been at sites with both kind of, cultures. So I've been at sites where the culture is totally inclusive of special ed, and special ed feels like part of the school and part of the team, and the families feel like part of, whatever that school is. And I've been at sites where my school is gen ed and then special ed is
Yes.
separate. And I didn't even know that culture really existed until I went to a school site like that, and that feels horrible, being on the special ed side of that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think the first step is empowering.
And if that feels horrible for the teacher and the staff, how does that feel for that parent who's
And
sending?
student, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and student,
Mhm.
yes, who is sending my child here, the student is now attending here,
Right,
but am I really part of this?
right,
So I think that makes a huge difference. I've seen, two principals that I have modeled it really well of how to really get that connection going. And there's more than that, I'm just
Right.
thinking of two off
To
the top
that
of
you,
my head.
mhm. Yeah, that's great,
Mhm.
that's great.
And one of the ones that I'm thinking of, when she was a teacher, she taught at a full inclusion school,
Yeah, she did.
right? So
Mhm.
she's had that experience and understands that it can work.
Yeah, that it can work.
Mhm.
Maybe that's part of it is having our leadership go and see where inclusion is working.
Right,
Try to experience it.
right, yeah, because it's a cultural shift if you're not used to it.
And that principal, did come to a pretty open school, I feel like. But there was still resistance from staff of, I don't mean resistance in a negative way, just in the sense of, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I'm scared of change.
Uh-huh.
It makes me nervous, I don't know what to expect.
Right, not in a negative, like, they don't care
I
about
don't feel